Hello everyone, this is Candy the 614 Stitcher, and today is Monday, May the 19th, 2025, and this is my Flosstube episode 143. I would like to say hello and welcome to any and all new subscribers. Even if you have just been checking me out for a time or two, I would hope that you would hit the subscribe bell and get notified when I put up new videos. I thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to see if I can interest you in a project or two. And to my returning friends, thank you so very much for coming back each time that I do upload a video. I hope that you all had a very nice Mother's Day. It was interesting. I did hear from my children, which was really good. And then a few of my friends hung out with me all day, practically, to help me get through the day, which was incredible. I have some amazing friends, and I'm truly grateful for each one of them. I have just been stitching and working, trying to enjoy some of the North Carolina weather that has been awesome down here. So it's been amazing. So that's about all that I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of stitching. So I hope that you all will are enjoying. I know the holiday, the unofficial start to summer is coming up this next coming weekend, and so I hope you all get out and do something fun. I have some starts this week for you, a few whips and a few finishes, and I'm going to also have a mental health moment also. So we're going to just jump right in. I'm not sure exactly how long this video is going to be. I know that I was, off a Sunday, and I do plan on getting back onto my regular Sunday rotation. Right now, Sundays seem to be my biggest stitching day, and by the time I get done stitching, it's time for me to get ready for work on Monday. So hopefully with the holiday coming up this weekend, I'll be able to get back on my track of recording on Sundays. So, okay, let's get started. So I started 3 projects for Mental Health May, and there's a hashtag, and if you tag me on the hashtag, I will get notifications. Thank you all so very much who have embraced Mental Health May SAL, Healthcare SAL. I truly appreciate all of you jumping on board with this. I know that different creative outlets help people mentally, emotionally, and even physically. So I appreciate you all jumping on the bandwagon and continuing this every May, continuing this endeavor every May. This year has been particularly difficult for me because of my mother's birthday at the end of April and then Mother's Day. However, I have been looking for the hashtag, and when people tag me, I go and check out what they have stitched for Mental Health Care SAL. May Mental Health Care SAL. Yes, that's the hashtag. So thank you all so very much. I seem to I actually feel kind of bad because I feel like I've dropped the ball some this year with bringing you weekly content around mental health care and what it means to me. I have suffered from mental health all of my adult life, I know, and probably in my teen years also. So it has been very constant on my mind, and I apologize that I have not been with you every week to bring up some points about mental health care. I do have some notes that I'm going to be sharing later on in the video around mental health care and what steps would make it, you know, just some general tips and information. I do want you to know that I am not, of course, a mental health care specialist. I am just one person who suffers from mental health issues and feel as though the stigma in the United States and across the world plays into the fact that people suffer with mental health care. And I just want to bring awareness to everyone that it is no different. Mental health care is no different than having diabetes or having high blood pressure. It is an illness and we should treat it as such. And thankfully now there are better outlets for you to find help with your mental health, for your mental health. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. I will come back to the mental health care piece later on in the video, so stay tuned for that. I had 3 starts, as I said, and the first start that I had for mental health is by a lady that I actually consider a dear friend. Her name is Nori, and she is of Shaded Stitchery. And I know she did not, I actually talked to Nori about mental health care. We were at Stitch, New Jersey, and I talked to her about mental health care. And I know that this, you know, had nothing to do with me, but she created a chart called Grounded in Chaos. And the sayings are, I protect my peace. I listen to my intuition. I check in with myself. I am more than my thoughts. I know perfect doesn't exist. I give myself grace. I make mistakes. I feel all the feelings, and I will slow down. And these are very important affirmations for anyone period, whether you feel as though you suffer from mental health or if you have something going on. These are just personal good affirmations that you should have, and they will ground you in the chaos that goes on. So I started this project on Mother's Day with Miss Shelia of the Sunshine Stitchers, and I was amazed when I watched their video, and saw how much she actually got accomplished. I put in, I should have got my boards out. I put in 151 stitches. So this is the very first block. This is, let me move this back. Okay. This is the first block. And so that is where I'm at now. I am stitching this on a 40 count salt bush by Fox and Rabbit, and I am using the DMC conversion that she provided in the chart. Nori is on Gumroads if you decide you like to stitch this pattern. She is also selling in shops now, so you can also contact your local needlework shop and see about getting it. I put in, again, 150 stitches on Sunday, Mother's Day. This was my Mother's Day start. And so thank you so very much. I don't know that Nuri watches my videos, but thank you so very much for an awesome chart. I love it. This was a week of finishes and a week of starts for me. It's pretty amazing. So I'm like super pleased. Okay, so where's my pen at? And that also counts as the G in mahogany for the Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge. The acrostic is mahogany, and G grounded in chaos stands for the G. The next start that I had was for the letter H in mahogany, and it is what did I do with it? Oh, I couldn't see it for looking at it. It is the (2025) Collector's Heart. And this also spoke to me as far as mental health and Love Who You Are by Heart and Hand. I am stitching this project on the called for 32 count mushroom that was provided in the chart. So the chart and the fabric were provided, and you choose, you pick up, you use your own floss. And I added 149 stitches. I started in the middle. And added 149 stitches to it. And so I have in Who and the flower stem. I'm going to pause this and get my board because this is, oh, there we go. That's better. And I love this fabric. The holes are nice and open. So I am going to be looking to find some more 32 count mushroom. It is amazing. Nice open holes. And I am going to be using the over dyed flosses for this chart. And I started that on the 14th of the month. I need to see if I'm getting this cleaned out. So that was my second start for the week. And I had one more start, which I started on May the 15th. And it is Disagree by Rebel Stitcher. And all of these charts to me spoke mental health, and so that's why I chose them. So this, and this also was, I thought I had it in one of my, for one of the acrostics, but I don't. No, I don't. The saying on the chart is Disagree by Rebel Stitcher. And the saying is, we can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and rights to exist. And so that also speaks to me, mental health also. And I added 170, no, seems like I added more than this, but it says 117 stitches. And so there is where I started at the top left, and I am working in, I'm stitching this on a 46 count antique white with Mo Cell Silk Witch Hat. And so it is a purple spool. And so I'll be using this to stitch on it. It'll be a nice contrast between the purple and the white. So there's where I've started at now. if you recall or have been around for a while, you know that my start is 200 stitches. So I may or may not get the 200 stitches in on these this month, but by the end of the year, I should be able to have 200 stitches. I usually try to do it within the month that I start a project, but with everything else that's been going on, I may or may not get the 200 stitches in this month for these 3 projects. So because I have other goals and I want to make sure that I meet those other goals. So those were my 3 starts for this time. All very good starts. Again, I had a week of starts, and so it was just amazing to have all of that, have all 3 of those, and be prepared to have those new starts. So as the months, as May continues on, and every year, I'll be working on getting finishes on those also. I had 3 whips for you this week. The very first whip is the A in mahogany, and it is, my setup is not as well as it normally is this time. The A in mahogany is for Amethyst, and that is this chart by Carolyn Designs. This was a gift to me from one of my friends that we went to Alaska together, Karen. Hi, Karen. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where I am now. I added 200. Yep, it goes this way. I added 222 stitches. And what I did was I came across what I've decided to do, which I was so distraught. I'm stitching, let me give you the deets on this first. I'm stitching this on an 18 count Baron Ada by Be Stitch Me. It is purple, and I don't know if you can tell that, but I you know, all of this fabric up here, I should have, but you live and you learn, because I use a nerd hoop and I did 2 inches down and all of that. So now I'm down here. Yep, it goes this way. There's my little red thread that keeps me orientated which way it goes. So I've decided that I'm going to come down and go all the way across to the page so that I'll know how much of this fabric I'm actually going to have left, which should be a significant amount, because I don't have that much more to go. This project is actually one of the bottom 4 down here. And if I am not mistaken, it is this one right here that I'm stitching on. There are 5 projects in this one packet, this being one. And then there are 4 minis that go along. Karen actually sent this to me all kitted up except for the fabric, and I added the fabric too. I've decided that with Carolyn Designs, I am going to choose fabric that is close to the actual stitch color palette, so that I don't see white fabric bleeding through, because I like using the 1 strand on the 18 or 20 count, whichever I choose. So that was A for Amethyst in mahogany. My next my next whip that I worked on was hashtag put a bird on it. And that is a sow that that I have joined in with on EJ from the Sunshine Stitchers, and it is a modern folk embroidery. And here is a picture of where I was when I last shared it with you. And here is a picture of where it is now. I have added 490 stitches to this project since you saw it last. And here, this is my complete, what it looks like complete right now. And here is where I worked on. I worked on bringing this stem down, and on the octagon that is inside, and over on this, bringing this stem down. Since you've seen this last, I've put in a lot of, I also put in a lot of work here. I added this motif, and I believe I added all of this also. I did not look at the picture before I started the video to see where I was at, but I do know, like yesterday, I added this, all of this. And before, right after my last video, I put in 300 and some stitches. So I know that that's where I've been focusing on Big Blue, as it is affectionately being called now. I'm stitching this on a 46 count oyster shell by Fox and Rabbit, and I'm using a Cottage Garden thread LaSalle. That project is slated to be a 13-month sow, with us finishing. We started in December of 2024, and I'm scheduled to finish it in December 2025. It is not too late to join the sow, and post your pictures. People are starting every day. People are finishing every day. Like, it is an ongoing work your own pace. EJ did break the chart up into 13 sections. And but people are starting in the middle with Big Blue and then working their way out. People are starting on the left, on the right. So it's not, you know, you got to follow EJ's way of doing it in order to participate in the sow. I would tell you to come on and join along. It is amazing. Join the Sunshine Stitchers Facebook group to see all of the pictures and all of the finishes and different color palettes, different fabric uses. All of that is amazing. It truly is. So that is my put a bird on it. And my last whip for this time is I participate in Sammy J Stitches. She is on Instagram and Flosstube, and she created this great opportunity, and it's called Whippagory Categories, and I participate every month in that endeavor. And it's just another way for you to touch some more whips, put them in a category, and be able to touch more whips during the month. And so this time, my last whip that I'm going to share with you is under the category nautical, and it is called Starlight on Water. It is also a Carolyn Manning design, and I actually picked this up when I was in Oklahoma, well, on my way to Oklahoma for a retreat at the Silver Needle. And at the time, we decided that I would do it in Color and Cotton. That's where I purchased this chart at, was at Color and Cotton. So we switched all the threads over from DMC to Color and Cotton. here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. So I worked on putting more. I finished this block here. I'm going across, as you can see. I put in the final blocks on that, on the third block there. And then I put in this here. I've been working on, when I pull a color, I try to see where the color can go so that I can maybe do a couple of blocks at a time. There is actually one more block here, and then the top row will be completed. I mean, I still have more to do in here. I added 144 stitches to this time. My light is changing, so it's getting darker in here. So that's where it is now. And I do enjoy this piece. I actually still need to put in another, my goal for Whippagori category is 200 stitches per category. So I still need to put in some stitches to get this to 200 before the end of the month. So you will see that again in the coming week or so. So those are all of the whips that I have for this week. It's actually very funny to me, and I'll tell you why in a second. Like, oh, that I didn't even look at that. So again, I had 3 starts, I had 3 whips, and I have 3 finishes. 3 times 3 equals 9. So I have worked on 9 projects. So the very first project that I finished was one that I had slated to be my daily stitch every day. And then once I got to a certain point, when I got down to, I don't even know what it was, the number of stitches I got down to, I was just like, that's it, I'm finishing it today. And so I finished Colors of the Season by Carolyn Manning, Spring. Sorry, I should have took it out of the nerds before I started showing it. But there it is, and I am going to make this into a little pillow. I had thought about making it into a stand-up, but I think a little pillow will be super cute. I could just tuck it in somewhere on my shelf. So this is Color of the Seasons. If you recall, I'm also doing the winter one, and so these will be my seasonal stitches this year. I am going to do all of them. So now what I'm thinking I might do for the next, well, until summer, till the 20th of June, is I might pull out the winter one and put some stitches in that, since it will need to get done. I didn't decide on doing winter until well into January, and so that's why I didn't get completed before spring. The next finish that I have is I'm super excited about. It was on my Year of Whips, so I have another Year of Whip, which is ran by Melanie Watkins, the Soulful Stitcher. It is closed. It's a closed group for this year. She will open it up again in December again. And the premise is that you choose, I chose 10 whips to mark as finished, and I have to get at least five of those finished. I am proud to say to you that I have 5 finishes off of my year of whips. And I still have 6 months, well, 5.5 months to go. It ends on December the 18th. So I have until December the 18th to finish the other 5 whips that are on that list. But the one that I just finished this past week is Black Butterfly Sampler, which is by Shaded Stitchery. And the fabric that I used was Aurora Borealis by Live and Dye LA. And I used Rustic Black by Coloring Cotton. And I use Rustic Black because it actually has different tones of shades, tones of black. So some of them are gray, some of them are dark black or deep black. So this was finish number 2. And I was super excited, and it was one of those things where it was on Pattern Keeper when I got down, when it shed. I actually put it into 3 different, I need to take this out of there. So I actually had it down for sampler in categories. And then I put it as the N in Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge for mahogany. It was also my Whip Go project. Well, as it turned out, I had I didn't even have enough stitches in it left. I had 500, 700, so I had like 774 stitches left in it. So by the time I did my Whip Go, by the time I put the 200 in for the sampler for the categories, I had 74 stitches left, and I was like, that's it, I'm finishing it. I'm just gonna finish it and not worry about it. And so I was super excited. So I have one more Shaded Stitchery project that's completed. I'm super happy about it. And then I got to start another one. So I'm gonna always try to have a Shaded Stitchery project in my rotation, so that I can keep stitching her wonderful projects. The next one was actually a surprise yesterday, and it's also on my year of whips. So it is, I finished Warrior by Firewing Designs. And I finished this yesterday. It was stitched on an 18 count gray. And I used Auntie D's Classic Colorworks floss for it. And there it is in its entirety. And so I am super happy about the progress that I made this time. With the new starts, the finishes, the whips, it's been a pretty amazing week for me, and I truly am thankful for it. So those were my whips, my finishes, all of the things. I am super excited about all of the progress that I made. You know, it's been a whirlwind couple of months, and so to have all of that progress, to have all of this progress, it's been pretty amazing for me. So the Y stood for, or the Warrior stood for the Y in mahogany, and the way that I tied that back was Rebecca Yaros is a author of Fourth Wing, and Fourth Wing deals with dragons, and they are warriors, and so that's how I made it all tie in. I mean, I was just like, woo, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. I used my favorite, one of my favorite authors in with my favorite cross stitch. So it made it all work, and it was really great celebrating with my friend yesterday as I finished it. So I do have a couple of investments. I had a wonderful friend send me a cross-stitch bag from Canada, and it has some Kerr's spearmint Scotch mints. I have never had these. They are from Canada though, because they have the little Canadian flag on them. So I've never had these, but I'm willing to try them. I'm not a big candy eater, but when she saw, you know, it says Kerr's right on it, so. And then she also sent me some hazelnut Kit Kats. So I've never had these either, and I love hazelnuts, so I can't wait. Now that I've shown them, I can try them. And this is a great project bag. It has a handle on it and everything. It'll make a great traveling project bag. And I'm sure this was made by Carolyn. Yep, it says it has an Evertote tag on it, so I'm sure it was made by Carolyn. So thank you so very much for your wonderful gifts. And then Miss Shelia sent me for mental health care these wonderful stickers. And I have never been a big journaler. I've never done journaling. Although I think I need to start. There are some things, and I'm sure, you know, I've heard amazing things about journaling and the way that it helps you. One of her friends makes these, and it's called Michelle Made, Misha Approved, and they are stickers. She's a therapist and a maker. And so Miss Shelia sent me these great stickers. She does have Facebook, and here's the Facebook information right here. So I would suggest that you go and check her out if you are into journaling. I'm going to actually check out her site also. They are very good affirmations. What are 3 wins for today? And I think sometimes when we get so caught up, her name is Michelle. She's an amazing quilter and cross stitcher. So I am going to also go and check her out. She, as a maker, I can't help but to embellish, yeah. And so I also like stickers, and I need to start utilizing some self-help, affirming stickers in my daily life, because you get so caught up in everything that's going wrong, you forget to think about all the things that are going right. So these will be a good way for me to remember that, you know, everything is not as it always seems, and they're, you know, look on the bright side of a situation also. Can I get this back in here? Okay. So please check out her Etsy, Facebook. Check out her Facebook page. Yeah, she's on Facebook and Instagram, so please check her out. And as I come across more products by her, I will keep you informed, because I think they're very, very good. I also received a nice care package from another friend. And I'm not going to share everything in here. I do want to share this. She sent me this pokey turtle, which I absolutely love. So I'm going to see about getting this made. Apparently, I think it's sold out now, but this was sold by just another button company. And it did, she did give me the whole kit. She sent me the whole kit. So I will be getting that put together. She also sent me some charts, and a couple of them I already have. So I will be giving those, doing a giveaway. She sent me some cottage garden threads, some needle, a needle minder. I appreciate you so very much. You know exactly who you are that gave me, that sent this to me, and it came right when I needed it. I've actually had it for like a week now. She sent me a whole quilt kit by Primitive Gatherings with the layer cake that goes with it. Just, it is phenomenal to me how giving and caring people are. She sent me this Autumn Hill by Rosewood Manor. She knows I collect Rosewood Manor, so she sent me this. Just amazing, 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 amazing. She sent me fabric. She sent me, I'm trying to make sure there's nothing on it. She sent me a whole felt wool applique set. So this will be something new for me to try. I've never done wool applique before, but it'll be another outlet for me to have to do some creative work with. And she knows how much I love snowflakes and snowmen, so everything with the exception of the turtle is snow themed. And so I really, truly, truly appreciate you. We don't get to talk very often, but she drops me a line and I'll drop her a line, and we'll, you know, have a good laugh with one another. But it's just to, you know, go to the mailbox and have a surprise. It was phenomenal for me, and I really do appreciate it. So now I'm going to go into my plans. Again, I have finished all of my Whip Go for the month. I have finished all of my Whip-A-Gory categories for the month. So each one of those gets at least 200 stitches in. So I have 200 stitches in all of those. What I need to put some more stitches in is I need to put in 51 more stitches on the Heart in Hand New Start that I have. I need to do some Mill Hill. I need to work on my Mill Hill Gemini chart for my son's birthday, which is coming up, but he already knows he's not getting it in time enough for his birthday. And he's totally cool with that. He's totally cool with it. He knows his mom's got a lot going on, and so it gives me the grace. He always has. He gives me grace to just be and do what I need to do. I still need to, I have one more project that I need to put in for Mahogany, and that is a Honey of a Tiny Town. So I will be working on a Honey of a Tiny Town. I need 200 stitches in that. And I still need 218 stitches for the rest of the month on Put a Bird on It. My goal for Put a Bird on It is 1,100 stitches a month, and I am 218 stitches short still, which is kind of distressful because I usually try to get it done earlier in the month, but I'm giving myself grace, and if I get the, you know, that'll be what I work on first, is the 218 stitches. Actually, I'm going to work on Honey of a Tiny Town once I get this video edited and uploading, because it takes time, and Put a Bird on It is on the tablet that I'm recording on. So so those are my plans for this week. If I gave you plans, I think I did. I'm going to work on Honey of a Tiny Town, and I'm going to work on getting my 218 stitches in for Put a Bird on It. That is a goal that I must hit every single month in order to make sure that I finish the project in the beginning of December. I don't want to wait till the last minute. I need it finished at the beginning of December, so that I can give myself a little wiggle room. So those will be the two main focuses for this week. Honey of a Tiny Town and Put a Bird on It. Those other projects, I'll get them, you know, I'll get those stitches put in when I can. You know, I still have, excuse me, quite a few days to go, so it's not like I'm down to the last day of the month. So, okay. So here's a few things that I want you to take away from this time with the mental health care sale. Take action. Now I'm going to read this. I wrote it out a few days ago, and so now I'm going to read it to you. Take action for your well-being. For your wellness and well-being. Here are some steps you can take. Okay, I'm gonna take my glasses off because I can't read with my glasses on. You can take to prioritize your mental health and create support. Set boundaries for yourself. This is very, very important. I'm gonna turn this on, maybe that'll help me. Protect your well-being by defining clear boundaries and stick to them. So what that means to me is that when you say enough is enough, then let enough be enough. Don't backstep because you think you might be hurting somebody else's feelings. Your well-being is your priority, and it should always be your priority. Your mental health should always be your first priority, not somebody else's feelings. I'm not saying being rude to people. What I'm saying is set a clear boundary and stick to it, and don't let anybody go past that. That is one thing that I've had to learn, that once I say that's it, even with my family, once I've said enough is enough and I'm not dealing with that anymore, because it keeps harping on your mind and your well-being if you continue to let people do what they want and you don't stand up for yourself. Check in with yourself. Recognize the signs of stress and burnout and take action early, whether it's a short break or a conversation or seeking support. So I know if I'm in a crowd of people, this has just been in the last few years that this has been happening. I think 2020 had a really bad effect on me. Anyway, I've had a lot of anxiety being around a crowd of people and being in mass groups. And so it used to be that I could walk away and be okay because I would go smoke a cigarette. As you know, I quit smoking in January of 2024. I'm happy to say that I've still not had a cigarette. It has been over a year and a half now that I have remained smoke-free in spite of everything that has gone on. But it used to be that I could use a cigarette break to break away from people and not have to worry about, you know, if I've upset somebody by walking away or whatever. Well, now I don't have that excuse, but I make it a point to where if I am getting overstimulated or stressed by the amount of noise, the conversation, somebody in the group, somebody in the conversation, that I will excuse myself and walk away for at least 5 to 10 minutes so that I can regroup and gather my self-control back. You should know your body well enough to know whether or not something or someone has irritated you. And if you are feeling irritated, there's no reason that you cannot walk away and regather and regroup for yourself. Practice self-care. Prioritize sleep. And this is a big one for me. You have to prioritize sleep, movement, and healthy habits to remain mental resilience. So you need to make sure that if you require 7 hours of sleep, work to get your 7 hours of sleep. Make sure you get your 7 hours of sleep. I am also working with trying to eat better, exercise, and drink water to help my body bounce back, especially during situations where I am feeling stressed. Once my body is tired, it can go one of two ways for me. When I get tired and sleepy, I can be very angry. I can get very annoyed very quickly. And so I recognize that I need to get some rest as soon as I feel the fatigue coming on to me. I have even in the past said, I will have to call you all back later, or I need to go run an errand so that I can take time out for my mental well-being, so that I can make sure that I'm not overstimulated, so that I make sure that I am the best person that I can be. Because if I'm tired, then that means that I'm going to be getting upset or irritated quickly, more quickly than what I normally would. And and the last point that I want to make is encourage a culture of support. Be a mental health ally by listening, supporting, and advocating for a stigma-free environment. And even though I deal with mental health care issues, I also try to be as supportive as I can to my friends and family around me when it comes to their mental health. You never know. They don't necessarily need your advice. They may just need you to listen to them. In this day and time, people need people to listen, not to give their opinions, not to tell them what to do, but just to listen. Could you please just hear me? Because a lot of times we don't have people that hear what we are saying. So be that listening ear to someone so that they can, in turn, be another listening ear for someone else. I have utilized my friends lately in ways that I never thought that I would, because I need someone that's going to listen to me. With the death of my mother, I've had friends who have lost their parents reach out to me and talk to me. You all do the same thing. I lost my mother 9 years ago. I lost my mother 30 years ago. I lost my mother, and I'm still dealing with and coping with the fact that I've lost my mother or my parents. So I thank you all so very much for sharing your stories with me and being a listening ear also. With all of that being said, I thank you all so very much for being here and supporting me each and every time that I upload a video. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.